You are live. Now you just need an audience. You are live. Bum, 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 bum. Welcome, world. Whoever's out there, anybody out there. Scatty Nona. Good evening, Scatty Nona. Cement Shoes. Purple Dot. Rachel W. Hello, Will. How's your evening? So far, I can't complain, Rachel. Just been sitting here editing, getting things ready for the weekend. So, thumbs up. I hope you're having a wonderful evening, Rachel, wherever you may be. Pip Dot, good evening. Hope we are all have had a great week. Stayed safe wherever you are in this world. Purple, good evening. Hurricane Ian landed, went all the way across Florida, and now is hitting the east coast of the United States. So I hope that everybody is staying safe out there. I hear that when it made landfall today in the Carolinas area, that it was only a tropical storm, or uh, we'll get into it. We're going to play a little trivia tonight, all about hurricanes, all 20 questions. Now, since I'm already here, the notification decided to work and popped up just now. See, I haven't. It's Smith Shoes. I actually subscribed to this channel from the Taco Podcast, and I have not received a notification yet that I'm live. No, still haven't gotten it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what to say. But back to what I was saying about trivia. So we got 20 questions tonight, all on hurricanes. So I figured, with it, the hurricane just hitting, Florida and the Carolinas, we would play a little trivia. Pretty and Camo, good evening. Too soon. We had a hurricane last Friday night. You did as well. Wow. Aunt B. Hi, Will. From grandson's varsity football game in Newton, Iowa. Go Cards. Well, I hope your grandson's team wins one tonight. A friend of mine texted me last night was their homecoming game. They won 53 to nothing, and he actually scored a touchdown. So I didn't know that he actually played football until he texted me and let me know. Rackhart, good evening. No electric here. Okeechobee, Florida. I'm sorry, Kelly. Well, I hope you have generator power, backup batteries, or something. Solar. I don't know if that's going to work too well right now. My friends live just about 25 miles of north of St. Petersburg, and they got hit pretty good where they are. Excuse me. Jennifer, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind here on reading these. Great to hear from you. Well, glad you're here, Jennifer. Lexi Bolak, good evening. Lexi, how are you doing? Give this probably another 30 seconds, and we're gonna play trivia, hurricane trivia. Now, all of these questions came from two news reporters and one person I know who is a freelance writer. I had asked them if a week ago before Ian actually hit Florida, if they knew of any trivia questions that I could ask. Some of them knew them, and some of them pointed me to where a good source was for trivia questions about hurricanes. I figured since it's in our minds and fresh right now, happening live, in the Carolinas tonight, let's play a little bit of trivia. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first question for the trivia tonight. And let me get myself in my little corner down here. Hi, everyone. I'm here. All right. So you can answer A, B, C, or D. Hurricanes in the northern hemisphere spin in which direction? A, clockwise. B, counterclockwise. C, they don't spin. Or D, they spin in both directions, switching back and forth. I'm in a car. It's about an hour ride from, so I'm listening and learning. Thank you, Pepper Dot. You can always watch it and rewind. A, B, C, or D. You should see it on your screen. Hurricanes, which directions do they spin in the northern hemisphere? It's an interesting question. I didn't even know this myself. A lot of these 20 questions I didn't know. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I've never lived through a hurricane. I've been to, my uncle used to live in just outside of the Everglades, and but he doesn't live there anymore. He's since moved. He lost his house like 5 times in a row, but he kept on rebuilding it. But he's since moved on. But I've been there for the aftermath, but I've never been there for an actual hurricane. In Florida, is what I mean. Or for that matter, anywhere along the Gulf Coast. I mean, they hit everywhere. They hit even all the way up the East Coast, as we know. I've been through 3 hurricanes living in the Keys West, Florida. Keys West is a beautiful area, though, Purple. Very beautiful. But my uncle is since relocated. He now lives up by the Lake Michigan. Okay, question number 1. Hurricanes in northern hemisphere spin in which direction? The correct answer for the first question is B, as in boy, counterclockwise. And they always spin counterclockwise. And the reason why is because the hot air is coming in one direction and the cool air is going in the other direction. But the hot air is coming down and the warm weather is actually what's making it actually spin in a counterclockwise motion. I did not know that. Okay, going on to question number 2. If I can get my mouse over to the right screen. There we go. Question number 2. Between 1915 and 1985, there were 6 Category 5 hurricanes that made landfall in the U.S. Question is, how many Category 5 hurricanes have made landfall since 1985, from 1985 to 2022? How many? Is it A, 6, B, 13, C, 9, or D, more than 14? Category 5. And you might see underneath D, it says if downgraded later, they still count. Some may have been a Category 5 when they initially projected, and well, they hit as a 5, but then later on they recalibrated it and said they were a 4 or a 6 or whatever. Some may have been recalibrated later on. But how many have hit as a Category 5 from 1985 to 2022? Claudia, Rebecca, good evening and welcome. Welcome to tonight's trivia. This is a special trivia night. We don't normally play trivia on Fridays, but I thought it would be a great idea, as for what good way to relax, kick back, have a cup of coffee or whatever you may, tea or a stiff drink, whichever you prefer, sweet tea, whatever. I avoid all coastal Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Refuse to look. Yeah, this time, anytime after the 1st of June, right, Cart, I would probably avoid that area as well. if you like to keep your equipment. Caught it just in time. Yep. Inner Peas, good evening and welcome. I hope you had a wonderful week. Between 1915 and 1985, there were 6 Category 5 hurricanes that made landfall in the U.S. Question is, how many Category 5 hurricanes have made landfall from 1985 to 2022? How many? Do 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 do. Weather science interesting. Love this topic. Well, thank you, Claudia. I'm glad you do. Hope other people find this enjoyable as well. If you do, give this stream a thumbs up. All right, the answer to the second question is D as in dog, more than 14. Of the 14 that landed as a Category 5 between 1985 and 2022, 5 were later downgraded to be a Category 4. So if you answered C or D, I will give you credit as being correct on this one, because there were 14, but they were 5 that were downgraded. So 9 would be the correct answer. You may actually know this question. So let's go on to question number 3. Actually got this right. Good job, Pippinot. All right, the third question. What hurricane was the most costly in property damage from this list? And the list, ladies and gentlemen, I'd have to fill up, if I was to include every one, it'd be way too long. Tina, good evening, Tina. We're only on the third question, Tina. And this is kind of a special event, playing hurricane trivia. It's not something we normally do on Fridays. Which one of these was most costly for property damage? Hugo, David, Katrina, or Ian? So I'll just play along. Didn't miss much. No. You can always watch it and rewind too. And if another thing you guys can do, if you want, if you enjoy this, is later on sit down and play the trivia game with somebody else, who didn't get a chance to watch it. Maybe they lost power, and you can go over and with your fully charged tablet and say, hey, let's play a little trivia game about hurricanes. We don't know what I will end up being. But they have a good estimate, though, right now, Sketty-Nona. But that's true. We really don't know. Hurricane Zillow. There is actually there was a Z. Zebra or Xena or something like that. But I don't think there was, because, I don't want to give you to say anymore, because I'll tip off a possible answer to another question. Okay, what hurricane was the most costly in property damage from this list? Excuse me. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C as in cat. Zoe, it might have been Zoe, C as in cat. Katrina was the most costly in just the state of Louisiana. $108 billion in just the state of Louisiana in infrastructure, buildings, homes were destroyed. That's when they talk about actual costs, that's what they're talking about. Buildings, infrastructure, bridges, roadways, power lines, and so on. Infrastructure, water, electric, everything. But $108 billion just in the state of Louisiana. Juicy Jules, good evening. Welcome, Juicy Jules. All right. Moving on to question 4. What additional natural disaster always comes with hurricanes? What additional natural disaster always comes with hurricanes? because a hurricane is just not enough. Is it A, earthquakes, B, winter snowstorms, C, tornadoes, or D, extreme droughts? What additional natural disaster comes with a hurricane? You would think that that would be enough in itself, but this one always comes with it. A lot of people going with C, tornadoes. Am I the only one when you see the word tornado always thinks of the car, the tornado? I don't know why. It's still to this day. I was typing this up, and every time I look at the word tornado, I always think of the tornado. It was an actual car. Ooh, Starfire actually put a little twister in there with her C. Very nice. And if I didn't welcome you, Starfire, welcome. E, narcissism. Oh boy, is that rampant like there's no tomorrow right now, Interpeas, but that's funny. Okay. What additional natural disaster always comes with hurricanes? The correct answer to question 4, unfortunately, is C, as in cat, tornadoes. When they don't have an actual statistical number right now of how many touched down in the state of Florida, but within the first hour of Ian actually touching down, they estimate that there was 20 tornadoes that touched down within the first hour of it actually making landfall. Now, when I say landfall, I'm actually talking about mainland, not the island that it first touched down on. Yes, I know that was devastating, and a lot of people lost their stuff, but I don't think anybody really cares when your house blows away and you're flooded by 12 feet of ocean surge. It doesn't matter if it touched down on mainland Florida or it doesn't matter if it touches down on your island. The old blow and twist. Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. Good evening, Gemma. Welcome. I'm glad you're here tonight. I hope you had a wonderful week. So we're doing trivia tonight on hurricanes. We're going on to question number 5 out of 20. 5 out of 20. All right. Question 5. Boom, bang, boom. Lightning always swirls with hurricanes, regardless of the U.S. state the hurricane comes ashore in. What is the average for total strikes hitting just structures per hurricane? Now, you have to understand that the total strikes, they're actually talking about what they can confirm. Obviously, if it hits the ground and it gets flooded by 12 feet of water afterwards, it's kind of hard to prove that lightning hit the ground. But most buildings, if they're hit, there's evidence there that it hit a building. Is it A, 100 to 500, B, 1,000 to 5,000, C, 10,000 to 50,000, or is it D, 1 million to 5 million? How many lightning strikes hit just structures during a hurricane? Out. So now you got tornadoes, you've got the devastation of the hurricane, and you get a lightning storm on top of it? Why don't I live in Florida? Or any of the Gulf Coast states, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, or Texas? Why don't I live there? It sounds like a really interesting time. I'm poking fun at anybody who lives there. It's beautiful there when it's not doing this. Don't take my joke the wrong way. I'll take the Midwest for $100, Alex. I love the Midwest. I love the Midwest. Born in Wisconsin, still have a home there. Got a lot of family in Iowa, Indiana, Nebraska, all over there. Oh, even got one relative in Ohio. There's always got to be one person you know who lives in Ohio. Save yourself. Don't live here in Florida. Oh, thank you, Gemma. Smoke them if you got them, ladies and gentlemen. Smoke them if you got them. Will, the most beautiful time I had was during the hurricane. Really? Hmm. Well, I hope you all stayed safe. That's all that matters. Don't want anybody to get, lose their life or have a loved one, lose their life over, some stupid storm. All right. Boom, bang, boom. Lightning always swirls with hurricanes, regardless of the U.S. state the hurricane comes ashore in. What is the average for total strikes hitting just structures per hurricane? The correct answer to, we're on number 5, right? Yep, number 5, because I forgot to put a number on these. Got to look. Number 5 is B as in boy. 1,000 to 5,000 lightning strikes hitting just structures during a hurricane. We stayed safe and went outside during the eye of the hurricane. It was so beautiful with the sunshine. For that brief little part, it might have been. My friend Ray lives in Florida, and he was telling me what it was like. If the hurricane came in, they had massive winds, and the rain was coming sideways. And then when the eye of the storm came over, he said, it was like a completely different, like the storm was over with. And that's what gets a lot of people in trouble and gets a lot of people hurt and killed. It's because they think the storm has passed them, and they go out there. You have to remember, the native Floridians or those who've lived there for a while, they know what to expect. But a lot of people are moving in the state, as people move out. They don't know what they're doing. How long did it last? The eye. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I didn't ask Ray about that. How long did it last, Purple? How long was the eye over you? About 30 minutes. That would be interesting to see. I don't know if I'd want to live through that though. All right. Moving on to question number 6. Question number 6. When was the first time anyone flew into a hurricane in a plane on purpose? Was it 1983, B, 1973, or C, 1963, or D, 1943? When was the first time that someone purposely flew into a hurricane? Yeah, in a plane, obviously. I wouldn't want to try that in a hot air balloon. Birds get trapped in the eye. My girlfriend and I rolled up a bunch of lumpy, and move over to the other screen so I can scroll back up. Lumpia. Oh, lumpia. Well, I love lumpia. I made adobo for dinner tonight for my wife. Pork adobo. We're the only ones that had hot food to eat. It was great. Oh, that sounds. As long as you stayed safe, Purple, that's what matters. Rocky Road Lady. Good evening and welcome to the Hurricane Trivia tonight. This is a special occasion for us to play Hurricane or any kind of trivia on Friday night. I'm glad you could be here with us. Got any more of that adobo left? Oh, I'm sorry. It all got eaten right away, Purple. my sister is her, so that'd be my sister, her husband is originally from the Philippines, and his mother, Nye, is what we called her, mother in Tagalog. She actually taught me how to make adobo, and she never showed me how to make lumpia. So she also showed me how to make really good soup and stocks. She was a hell of a lady. Fortunately, we lost her. She's since passed on. She's still around with us. I know she is. Lexi Bolak says, "See and good evening. I had Chinese for dinner yesterday. Ooh, that sounds yummy." Okay, when was the first time somebody flew a plane into a hurricane on purpose? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is D as in dog, 1943. Now, it has happened before then, accidentally, navigational tools and being able to see that there was a tornado coming was, something that probably ended a lot of people's lives. But in 1943, the Army Corps of Engineers decided that they would fly a plane with just a pilot into the hurricane to see what the actual disturbance of coming in and before you got to the eye of the hurricane was like. And they observed what the inside of the eye of a hurricane was actually like from the inside and then trying to fly back out of it. But that was the first time it was done on purpose was in 1943. And I have the actual date written down here. The actual date that it happened was March. Well, March was when they planned it. They actually did it June 23rd, 1943. They planned it for March and they did it in June. Okay, moving on to question number 7. One day, if you want to make lumpia, you can meet me halfway between your place and mine, and I can teach you. Oh, thank you for the offer, Purple. Maybe we'll do this someday. I quit a month ago, but lit a cig just act like I still do. Good for you, Juicy Jules. I'm glad you quit. It's a terrible habit that I just can't seem to break. All right, question 7. Every hurricane has a name. Question is, what other natural disaster do humans name? Is it A, floods, B, droughts, C, tornadoes, or D, none? What other natural disaster do we give names to? If we can all come and eat with you guys. The only thing that sucks is when my brother-in-law's mother, Nye, when his mom, Nye, when she passed away, she used to make 200-300 egg rolls at a time for us, and she put them in these giant freezer bags, and we put them in the deep freeze. I miss being able to go over to my deep freeze and reach inside there and pull out 15, 20 of them or whatever, and cook them up for the family. They were just so good. You couldn't beat them. No one will ever find a store bought one like it. She never charged us for it, but we always paid her, not only for the supplies, but we'd give her a couple $100 on top of it, because that's what the FLAM, the Filipino American Society, the elders, they used to all get together and do things like that. Not so much anymore. The younger generation doesn't appreciate it, at least here. Will, how are you? I'm doing great, Gamma. I'm having a wonderful week. Thank you for asking. I hope you are having a wonderful week yourself. All right, every hurricane has a name. Question is, what other natural disaster do humans name? We did 40 pounds of meat tamales. Ooh, tamales. Gayla, good evening, and welcome to Hurricane Trivia. The answer to question 7 is D as in dog. We don't name any other natural disaster except for hurricanes. And I will tell you, the answer to when we started and how it got started, in a little bit. But that the question is going to come up again. And I guess I could tell you now. The first time that we named hurricanes was in the year 1900, and it was started by C. Ragel from Australia. He started naming hurricanes and tropical storms and stuff like that. But he was the first one to officially name hurricanes. C. Raggle, Wraggle, from the University of Australia in 1900. All right, question number 8. It's a strange universe we live in. What planet has had one hurricane that has never stopped in over 300 years? One hurricane constantly for over 300 years has been moving around on this planet. Is it A, the moon, B, Mars, C, Orion, or D, Jupiter? What planet in our universe has had one hurricane that has not stopped for over 300 years? And I do not know who was keeping track of it 300 years ago, but someone apparently was, or they know somehow that it's been going for 300 years nonstop. Uranus. Rachel W is going with D. How would that work? Everyone's from all over. They started out using just women's names too. They did Starfire. They absolutely did. And to this day, they most of the names that are picked for hurricanes and tropical storms and cyclones and the like, and other ones, all start. If they started off with the letter A, and they've worked their way forward. They're done at random. So the first person to spot it out in the Indian Ocean or someplace can't say, I want to name this one after my ex-wife. They can't say, or their wife, or their girlfriend, or their daughter. They're all already put on a list, and they're randomized for all the A's, all the B's, all the C's, all the D's and E's, and so on. Each letter of the alphabet, they have so many names that they start off with, and then it's randomized. So, okay, we're on letter D, and they hit a button, and it, whatever the heck happens, they randomize it. Chad Daybell's chin is missing. I wish I could work, but it was just joking. I think it'd be great to meet some people and have dinner. I think it'd be interesting as heck. Everybody has a story to tell. Unchin. All right. For question number 8, it's a strange universe we live in. What planet has had one hurricane that has never stopped in over 300 years? The correct answer is D as in dog. Jupiter has had one continuous hurricane for over 300 years. He's kind of got shaggle heap of jiggle flab where his chin should be. Orion is my next door neighbor's name. Is it? Oh, that's cool. All right, move over to my other screen here. Question number 9. The first hurricane of the year always gets a new unused name. In the future, all unused names will be used. What will hurricanes be called then? What happens after we run out of all of the names that are on the list right now? It's an interesting question. A, They'll name them after a fish from the Gulf Coast. B, they will assign them all a serial number. C, they will start over again with the letter A names first. Or D, name them colors, followed by names of fish, then names of plants. What will they come up with next after all of the names have been used that are in the system to name hurricanes? Juicy Jules, 1900. I'm sure she's cute as a button though at 14 months. Do you have a waterfall? Yes, I do, Juicy Jules. Do you hear it? I got a little aquarium that's over here to the my well, okay. So I have to think about this. The camera is reversed, so it's to that side where my arm is pointing, which is actually the opposite direction. It's that this is my right arm I'm pointing with, but it's actually to my left. I'm taking care of some fish right now for someone who is in the middle of relocating. The first hurricane of the year always gets a new unused name. In the future, all unused names will be used. What will hurricanes be called then? Well, the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, for question number 9 is C, as in cat. Tammy Kidd, good evening and welcome. C, as in cat. They will start over again, all over again with the letter A and randomize all the A's and B's and so on down the list. And side note, so I asked, well, wouldn't it be easier just to come up and add additional names? And they said, no, it wouldn't. They have a total system of A's, B's, C's, D's, all the letters of the alphabet have a name. Names are like a database that they randomize the names for. Once a name has been used, it's taken out and it's put aside. And then that way it doesn't get reused, it doesn't get picked again. So I said, why didn't you just make the database bigger? But they said no, they would just start back over again once they've run through the entire alphabet of randomized names for each and every one. All right, question number 10. Every 10 seconds, a hurricane releases a lot of power. Just how much power is released? These are averages, ladies and gentlemen, because some hurricanes are weaker and some are stronger. So these are averages. Is it A, the same power as 10 atomic bombs? B, the same as 1 atomic bomb? C, same power as 3 atomic bombs? Or D, same power as 20 atomic bombs? And yes, I understand. I see that now that I wrote the word at instead of as. How much power is released from a hurricane every 10 seconds? Powerful storms. Not something to screw around with. Yeah, it's like Ian was making landfall the other day, and I was watching the news. It was kind of going back and forth looking for something, and they had, I think it was ABC affiliate or something like that, and they're watching all the waves crash ashore, and there's people standing out on a pier. I'm like, why? Why would you do that? I made brownies Wednesday. They're gone. I would love me a brownie. I would love me some Gala snickerdoodles, but still haven't gotten any. Egg salad made neighbor. Your neighbor made egg salad for you, Juicy Jules. That'd be cool. Water dripping hot. Well, it's the pump. If the pump goes up and then it goes up over through a filter and then down back into the tank. There's like 4 fish in there plus this giant like I think it's called a cosmos or something like that. It'll be gone tomorrow. Will, one of these days, will. Yay, one of these days. All right, how much power is released from an atomic bomb every 10 seconds? How much energy is, or whatever, power is released from a hurricane every 10 seconds? I can actually read what's on my screen here. The correct answer is A as in apple, ladies and gentlemen. On average, the same strength and power as 10 atomic bombs is released every 10 seconds. That's a lot of damn power. A lot. All right, question number 11. Which one is more costly in terms of loss of life? A, a hurricane. B, typhoon. C, cyclone. Or D, they are all the same. Your hubby's favorites too. Oh, I'm never going to forget snickerdoodles. I love snickerdoodles. No joke, my family makes fun of me because I enjoy them and I make them for myself, and nobody else in my family likes snickerdoodles. I do. So my daughter actually calls them, excuse the term here, but this is what she calls them. She calls them basic bitch cookies. I'm like, whatever. But I enjoy them. They're my favorite cookie. I think they're yummy. I will have to go with Lori Vallow again on this one. Alex. My doggy likes my snickerdoodles too. Oh. I don't have any doggies left. Just cats now. Which one is more costly in terms of loss of life? Is it A, hurricane, B, typhoon, C, cyclones, or D? They're all the same. Which one is more costly in terms of loss of life? The correct answer for question 11, ladies and gentlemen, is D as in dog. D as in dog. They are all the same. Depending upon where it actually starts and makes landfall, they're all the same thing. Hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones are all the same thing. And they all, are destructive and have about the same, chances of causing loss of life. Hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones are all the same. All right. There we go. Yeah, I can keep on moving my mouse from monitor to monitor, and sometimes if I forget where it's at, I'm like it up, trace along the top of the screen. Forget to where it's at. I gotta move it all the way to the bottom. So I'm gonna click on the button and move to the next question. Missed another one. Purple loves snickerdoodles too. Gailey, you can start like a side hustle, just making snickerdoodles, for sale. Huh? Think about it. All right. Question number 12. While all hurricanes are given first names, which is super cute until they destroy your life, what type of natural disaster is always given names like blank apocalypse, blank Armageddon, or blank Zilla? What type of natural disaster is always given names like blank apocalypse, blank Armageddon, or blank Zilla? Is it A, tornadoes, B, floods, C, droughts, or D, fires? As long as we can learn something, that's, well, what matters. We're all having fun. That's true. Tina Reddington is going with D as in dog. D, 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 D. Everybody go with D so far. This is question number 12. Rocky Road Lady is going with D as well. If there's anybody out there who's, watching this and hasn't jumped into the comment section, and or maybe you did and I missed you, let me just tell you right now, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you stopping in and playing, the trivia game with us, or just watching along. It's a lot of fun. We all learned something from this. I didn't know half of these. I probably didn't know most of them. The hurricanes is not something that comes up on my radar. Ooh, Starfire's going with E, snowstorms. Pulling one out of one of the inner P's, E question answers. Huh? E, snowstorms, snow apocalypse, Snowmageddon, or Snowzilla. I've heard all of those, Starfire. I've heard all of them. Yeah, just about every year, whenever somewhere in the Midwest, it snows a lot, or even or a place where they don't normally get snow. It's a snow apocalypse, Snowmageddon. And then there's always that one person who's standing in the background going, well, do you remember what the snowfall was like in 1938? And you're looking at someone who says, Snowmageddon or snow, apocalypse, and they're obviously in their 20s. No, they don't know about 1938. Gotta go check my tater tot casserole. Ooh, yummy. Yeah, Bowman is going with B. Wow, hurricanes are given first names, which is super cute until they destroy your life. What type of natural disaster is always given names like blank apocalypse or blank again or blank zilla? The correct answer to number 12 is D as in dog. They're fires, massive fires are always given names with apocalypse, Armageddon, and Zilla. Range fire, Canyon Zilla, they always given names like Apocalypse, Armageddon, and Zilla. Pray for Florida. Gemma is still listening. All right, we're still here. Question number 13. It's all about the hype, baby. It's all about the hype. Which type of storm gets more mass media coverage worldwide, regardless of its strength and destruction, than any other? Which one gets more hype? Is it A, hurricanes, B, tornadoes, C, floods, or D, droughts? It's all about the hype, baby. Which type of storm gets more mass media coverage worldwide, regardless of its strength and destruction, than any other? E, inner P's goes with Christopher Watts. Good evening, Teddy Rose. Welcome to Hurricane Trivia. I had an ice cube in my mouth. Sorry. I hope you had a wonderful week, Teddy Rose. Welcome. It's all about the hype, baby. It's all about the hype. There's nothing. I mean, turn on the TV right now, any cable network, news network, and all you're going to see is 24-hour coverage about the hurricane. I mean, sure, you got to cover the hurricane and the destruction, and people rebuilding and getting their lives back together, and hopefully there's not a lot of loss of life. But every single channel will just drown you out endlessly on the hurricane coverage right now. If you're new here, please subscribe to Will. He is amazing. Oh, thank you, Gemma. I appreciate it. All right. Question number 13. The answer to this is A, as in apple. Hurricanes. If a hurricane lands and makes landfall in America, it doesn't matter if it's the weakest hurricane ever, which was Floyd. Floyd was the weakest hurricane in the last 50 years. Or if it's the most powerful hurricane, Category 5, it will make news media circles all over the world. Heck, even Al Jazeera is in Florida right now reporting on the hurricane. This one had to be A. Yeah, if it not, it did. Hello, Inner Peas, my friend. Hope all is well. All right, question number 14. 14, here we go. Oops, I'm sorry. All right, well, in case the top corner is covered up, it is on mine, but it says rain, thunder, lightning, tornadoes, flooding, extreme winds are all common with every hurricane. What rare occurrence has also happened with these cyclone hurricanes? Maria, Rita, Haiti, and Esther. What rare occurrence? Was it A, earthquakes, B, massive fires, C, it rained fish, or D, volcanic eruption? What rare occurrence happened with Maria, Rita, Haiti, and Esther? And those are the dates when those hurricane cyclones hit. Maria 2017, Rita 2005, Haiti 1961, Esther 1961. And wisecracks. Rain, thunder, lightning, tornadoes, flooding, and extreme winds are all common with every hurricane. What rare occurrence happened with these cyclone hurricanes? Maria, Rita, Haiti, and Esther. And these are the only four that it's ever been recorded on. Now, it may have happened other times, but it just hasn't been recorded. Sometimes things happen. If someone doesn't actually see it, doesn't go down in the history books. We got A's, we got some B's, we got C and A. Remember Rita. I need to choose C because raining fish would be something else. Good evening and welcome, Donna. I hope you enjoyed the trivia tonight. I hope you also had a wonderful week. It's the weekend. Have yourself a glass of tea, sit back and relax. Well, I need to ask you some advice. I will email you. You do that, Gemma. Email me anytime you want, sweetheart. All right, question number 14. Ladies and gentlemen, the rare occurrence that happened with those four hurricanes, Maria, Rita, Haiti, and Esther, the correct answer is C as in cat. It rained fish. Now, these were not really big fish, but it rained fish. And it rained fish for days. Not like for 10 minutes, not even an hour, for days afterwards. It rained down like little tiny sardine fish because the hurricane was coming ashore and the waters were being sucked out of the inlets. It sucked up all the little tiny fish and brought them up into the hurricane and spread them all over the landfall. It rained fish. Of course, I think they're all dead, but it rained fish all the same. Twice in 1961, once in 2017, and once in 2005. All right. I had no idea. I Googled it. Bet the alley cats were happy. I bet they were too. Hopefully they stayed safe. Yeah, Claudia, that right. Think about the smell afterward from all that fish. All right, question number 15. Which hurricane experienced the most property crimes in the 2 years after it destroyed and made landfall? Which hurricane experienced the most property crimes? Not the hurricane itself, but which, you get the point. I could have worded this question a lot better. Which one of these hurricanes came ashore, and then the 2 years afterwards, there was a lot more property crime than any of the other ones listed? Was it A, Wilma, B, Dean, C, Katrina, or D, Dorian? Red fin, one fish, two fish, blue fish, red fin. So far, you got a lot of C's and one E. I think Katrina helped. Was so difficult to get the C's and C's. Property crimes, which is basically theft of something that doesn't belong to you. Property crimes. A lot of C's. A lot of people are going with good old Katrina. Let's see if it's going to be the right one here. Just a couple more seconds. Property crimes. Thanks for the fun. Well, gotta go. Finishing dinner and feed my doggy. Well, Gayla, you have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you again. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Gone Girl, good evening, sweetheart. I hope you are doing well. Sorry if I didn't get a chance to email you this week. Been pretty busy. Wasn't trying to ignore you, though. All right, which one of these hurricanes had the most property crimes 2 years after it made landfall? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, is C, as in cat. Katrina. Property crimes more than tripled in the years after Katrina made landfall. More than tripled. Unfortunately. And at the same time, though, you have to also understand that when Katrina made landfall, they opened up the jails and let everybody go. Just walk on out because, well, they couldn't keep them in a jail to drown. So they opened up the doors. They let all the criminals out. And of course, the crime rate went boom, through the roof. All righty. All righty then. Hello, anyone have I've missed? Same here. If anybody I missed is out there, welcome. I hope you had a wonderful week. Moving on to question number 16. The most deadly hurricane of all time hit the great state of Texas and the city of Galveston. It wasn't even the strongest hurricane to ever hit the U.S. How many people died in this hurricane? Was it A, 800 people, B, 8,000 people, C, 200 people, or D, 2,000 people? You're still in the hospital with COVID? I'm sorry. I hope you get better soon, sweetheart. How many people died in the hurricane that hit Texas and the city of Galveston? Either way you go, that's a lot of people that lost their lives in that hurricane. Starfire B? Question mark. Claudia D, Rachel B, Diana B. Gone Girl is going with B as well. Tina Reddington, too many. You're darn right it was. Way too many. Way too many people. Lexi is going with B as well. The most deadly hurricane of all time hit the great state of Texas in the city of Galveston. It wasn't even the strongest hurricane to ever hit the U.S. How many people died in this hurricane? Ladies and gentlemen, the strongest hurricane, it wasn't even the strongest hurricane. E, too many. Good one, Interpeas. The correct answer to question number 16 is B as in boy. 8,000 people perished in this hurricane. And it was considered, now looking back at historically at the hurricane, they believe it to be either a level 3 or a level 4 hurricane. It wasn't even close to being the strongest hurricane. And but you have to look at the when it happened, the construction, the wooden homes, the technology to survive a hurricane wasn't that great. And a lot of homes in the Galveston area were built at low lighting levels, and it just decimated. It killed so many and just completely destroyed what was there. 8,000 people perished in this one hurricane. I could not believe it when I was reading the story of this. And there's memorial markers that are there in Galveston of this. Actually, they rebuilt Galveston and the seawall. Yes, they did. Did I spell it wrong? I'm sorry. It probably would have been better if I would have spelled it correctly. All right. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get a little bit typey too fast, and don't autocorrect enough. You spent your childhood around Galveston. Very pretty. My friend used to live there, and then they moved to just outside of Austin. I want to go see them. All right, question number 17. Save our fur babies. What percentage of homeowners have a plan in place to keep their dogs, cats safe during a hurricane, according to SaveOurPets.com? Is it A, half, B, 3/4, C, a third, or D, a quarter? Save our fur babies. What percentage of pet owners have a plan in place to keep their dogs, their cats safe during a hurricane, according to SaveOurPets.com? C, A, B, D, B. We got every one of them covered now. A, B, C, and D are all covered. I never forget the history of Galveston in the 1900s. Yeah. A penny? Hmm. Save our fur babies. I'll admit, if a hurricane hit me where I live, I have no plan in place for what I would do to keep my pets safe. Of course, I am, well, about 370 miles from the ocean. Um, I'm closer to the state of Idaho than I am to the ocean. But if hurricanes do come up the west coast, I wish you 100% of them. So do I, Rachel. But I don't have a plan. In case a natural disaster was ever to hit here, a tornado, hurricane, typhoon, or mass flood. I mean, of course, I live on the top of a hill. And it would take an awful lot of water to flood my house or get anywhere near me. But I don't have a plan. And this was something that I actually thought about. What would we actually do? Don't have one in place, so I should probably start making one. Not enough people think about our animals. No. And after Katrina, look at the massive rescue plan that had to be improvised right away. To just round up all the pets who are out there. Maybe their loved ones passed away in Katrina, or they fled Katrina as fast as they could, or they were living in shelters. The humans themselves. So what were they supposed to do with the pets? I mean, it was chaos in the beginning. And a lot of pets, didn't have someone to love them like they used to take care of them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for question number 17, the correct answer, unfortunately, is C as in cat. Only a third of all pet owners have a plan in place to keep their pets safe in case of a hurricane. Only a third. Always hunker down, never head north. Speaking of hunker down, um, if anybody who follows Camping with Steve, he did release a new video this week. So an update on what he's planning and where he's going from here with the channel and stuff. But every time I think of hunker down, I always think of Camping with Steve. In case you're not aware of it, Steve tragically lost his wife. She passed in her sleep. So, all right, moving on to question number 18. Excuse me. What is the minimum wind speed a storm must have to actually qualify as a hurricane and not a tropical storm? Left-handed RN, good evening. I hope you've been doing well, left-handed RN. Thank you for joining us tonight. What is the minimum wind speed a storm must have to actually qualify as a hurricane and not a tropical storm? Is it A, 50 miles an hour, B, 64, C, 70 miles an hour, or D, 74? Excuse me. Refill my ice water. During Katrina, they didn't even care of the aquarium. Yeah. A lot of people who took care of the aquarium at the aquatic center there, they just left. It was save yourself. You're in the middle of a tropical storm in North Carolina. Oh, I'm sorry, Left-Hand RN. I truly hope you're able to stay safe from, and not too much damage there. What is the minimum wind speed a storm must have to actually qualify as a hurricane and not a tropical storm? The correct answer is D as in dog. For question number 18, it must have a wind speed of a minimum of 74 miles an hour. Otherwise, it is considered a tropical storm. D as in dog. All right, question number 19. When a hurricane is close to making landfall, what is the strong predictor it is less than an hour away from making landfall? A, birds stop flying. B, chickens go to higher ground. C, inlet waterways reverse course. Or D, all of the above. When a hurricane is close to making landfall, what is a strong predictor it's less than an hour away from making landfall? Birds stop flying, chickens go to higher ground, inlet waterways reverse course, or D, all the above. I personally, ladies and gentlemen, did not know this one. I thought when I read the answer to this one, I was like, oh, that seems odd. Why would that happen? I did not know this one. Bum, bum, bum. We have D's and A's. So thought I saw a B or two in there. C. Nope, no B. Nobody believes in chickens. Nobody believes in chickens go to higher ground. We have everything else. Birds stop flying. Inlet waterways reverse themselves, and D. So I guess maybe since everybody, a lot of people said D, they believe in all of them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for question number 19, the correct answer is D as in dog. All the above are correct. And chickens. You might be wondering, why would chickens go to higher ground if if the hurricane is less than an hour away? The actual change in the barometric pressure makes them want to leave the ground and go up onto something else. It's one of the predictors of a tropical storm, not a tropical storm, but a hurricane is less than an hour away. The change in the pressure, and they want to get up off the ground. What's up?
Oh, hey, babe.
I told you I was streaming.
You did. Yes.
What,
That was the thing that you said.
what do you need?
Your lighter, please.
Why?
Um, Nothing that you need to be immediately concerned with, but I will let you know if it goes poorly.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'll just
Oh
take
my
that.
God. All right.
and-
So no, put that one back. Put that one back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Okay. So in the house, on
Yes.
top of your desk,
Yes.
I have that little organizer. It's
Uh-huh.
like plastic. And it's got 3 little drawers on it.
Yes.
Bottom drawer, there's like probably about 8 lighters in there. Well,
Okay.
So.
Perfect. If you hear any loud noises, do not worry about it.
oh, okay.
Bye, babe.
Interpees. I believe in chickens. I believe they can fly. But yes, D is all the above. D is in dog. All right. Question 20. And it is the last question. Question 20. Something extremely rare happened once in the U.S. in the Northwest Pacific Ocean. Something scientists never want to see again. A typhoon tip so massive it could have destroyed 70% of all U.S. cities. The entire typhoon was the size of half the U.S. What year did this happen? Was it A, 1979, B, 1944, C, 1924, or D, 1954. Something extremely rare happened once in the U.S. in the Northwest Pacific Ocean. Something scientists never want to see again. A typhoon tip so massive it could have destroyed 70% of all U.S. cities. The entire typhoon was the size of half of the United States, counting the, we're talking about the continental United States here. What year did this happen? E, 1999. Little Prince, we're gonna party like it's 1999. Yeah, I can't sing. This is why I have a YouTube channel and I talk about true crime, because I can't sing. Once in a lifetime, according to scientists, they don't think anything like this has ever formed since or before. But it happened one time. The entire storm was circling and it was larger than half of the United States, the continental United States. Sing it, Will. Yeah, I'm not very good at singing. And my luck, though, I probably sing enough of it, and then the YouTube algorithm would copyright match it. Because they can go by the words themselves. The algorithm and the system that they have actually listens to everything that I say, or if I had a guest on, everything that they say, during the stream. And it tries to match that to other content. B, A, B, D, C, A. What year did it happen? YouTube, right? Good old YouTube. Changed their algorithm, they changed their policies. The ever moving sandbox is what I like to call it. The ever moving sandbox. Just when you think you know where the sandbox is and you're in the sandbox and you're playing by their rules, they move the sandbox a little bit more to the left or to the right, forward or backwards. So you're always guessing on what is acceptable and what is not. All right. When did this weather phenomenon, I guess you could call it, the typhoon tip, happen? It happened, ladies and gentlemen, and the correct answer is A, 1979. Once in a lifetime, according to scientists or weather forecasters, meteorologists in particular. And I'll go to the next slide. All right. That's the end of the trivia. Special thanks goes out to my friends that helped me with this. JBB with WFLA Channel 8. Susan Lawler with WESH, and she also works with WBBH Channel 2. And James Runn. This actually, that's how he pronounces his name, Run, not Ruin. Freelance journalist. They all helped me put this trivia together tonight, or pointed me to a place where you could actually ask, where they had trivia questions about hurricanes. And now it's just me. Remember, we're supposed to listen for a loud boom or something. My wife wanted a lighter for something. Kind of scared about what she's probably doing. Fun trivia? Yes, I hope so. Again, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Give it, leave a comment. After the stream is over with, share it with your friends. I thought it was very interesting. I would, the hurricane, was coming ashore. Well, it wasn't. It was like several days out, and I started to wonder about hurricanes. How often do they hit? How do they pick their names? What was the most deadly hurricane? Yeah, I mean, these are natural questions that we all should be curious about. has a hurricane ever gone the opposite direction through Texas and up into New Mexico? Would it be a hurricane once it gets to landfall? I didn't know the answers to these questions because again, I don't live in a hurricane area. Where I live, actually, it'd be rare, very rare. Does a tornado even get here? We almost get never any rain or snow because we're between the Cascades and the Rocky Mountains. So we're in a valley down in like a bowl in between the two mountain ranges. I have loved trivia night tonight. Awesome to interact with everyone. You all have a good week. As Will would say, stay safe out there. Yes, definitely stay safe out there. Well, thank you, Pippa. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Teddy, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well. I hope everyone enjoyed it. It's always great to see everybody, even those who I haven't seen in a while. Left-handed RN, missed you. I haven't been doing as many streams as I used to. But I'm doing them every Friday night now and every Saturday morning. So, if you have a chance tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, accordingly. If you're on the East Coast, that's a 3-hour difference between us. Sure missed the trivia. Well, a lot of people seem to enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. But it is a lot of work to put together. Some weeks it all depends upon the subject matter. Like the crime trivia was a little bit more involved, and it took a lot more work to put it together to do the crime trivia. But really enjoyed doing the music trivia. But that didn't resonate with a lot of the viewing audience. Since I'm a true crime channel, people want to see true crime. They want to see, crime trivia, but they didn't want to hear about music trivia. But I enjoy music trivia. That's just me. So take care, everyone. Good night. Good night, Pippa Dot. Thank you again for stopping in. You stay safe out there. Lexi Bulla, thanks. Will, have fun. Well, good, Lexi. Thank you, Will. Hope you do more of these. Well, thank you, Rachel. I plan to in the near future, as I don't know about next Friday, but maybe next Saturday morning, we can do a trivia, instead of, just a general chat. We'll see how everybody feels. And, if I was able to draw an audience tonight, we got up to, I think, 23, 24, somewhere in there for total people in the stream. But I'll get the actual data after the stream ends. But thank you again, everybody, for joining me tonight. I'm going to wrap things up there and go see what my wife is planning with the lighter and why she thinks that something's going to explode. But again, if you have a chance to stop in tomorrow, I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Interpeas, for thanking everyone. Everyone, stay safe out there. If you're in the path of this tornado or tropical storm, please take all precautions seriously. And if you have to go out on the road anywhere where this storm is hit, please plan ahead, give yourself extra time, and take all precautions. You don't know if there's going to be a down power line or what debris or loose animal could be out there that normally is caged up. So thank you again for being here. You all have a terrific night. Bye.